Hello, brothers and sisters out there in YouTube land, brothers and sisters in Messiah, believers. Got something a little different for you today. I got a question for you, and it's about being prepared, spiritually, mentally, and physically prepared for the things that are coming down. Because we all know that we live in a time right now that's really like no other time. There's things going down out here in the world that I think it's good to put a video out like this to ask the question, are you prepared, with the things that are going on? Revelation speaks of a time in the end times where people are going to have to take a mark to be able to buy and sell. Well, whether you're on the Sunday side or the obedience side, however you want to shake that out, we all believe that in the end times there's going to be a mark, and without that mark you can't buy and sell, which means you can't go get food for your family. You won't be able to pay bills. You're probably not even going to have a job unless you take the mark. So one side believes that I don't have to worry about that because I'm going to be raptured up out of here before anything bad happens. And the other side, like me and Nate and our group, we don't see that in the Bible. As a matter of fact, if you research the rapture, and we did a video on the rapture, and there was supposed to be a part 2, and this will kind of be a part of that part 2. The ones that believe that there's going to be a rapture, if you'll research that theology, that comes from a man named John Darby. John Darby, and I think he came out with this, started talking about this pre-trib type of rapture thing around the 1630s, somewhere around in there. Don't hold me to that, but it was somewhere around in there, the 1630s, that he came out with this theology. And John Darby is a dispensationalist, meaning that, he believed that there were dispensations of time where, like, there was a time for the Torah, and then that was over, and then there's, all these different dispensations of time. But the Father says in the Bible is that he doesn't change. So whatever he laid down in the beginning, these things don't change. But Scofield loved this theology because he was a dispensationalist, and he took off with the pre-trib rapture theory too. Up until then, there was no talk of a pre-trib rapture. Of course, me and Nate believe from reading the Bible that the Messiah is not coming back to get his people until after the last trump. After the last trump, that seventh trump's going to blow, and then that's when the Messiah comes. So that means, from what I can read, that we're not getting out of here early. Nobody's getting out of here early. That we're all going to have to go through the tribulation, where you're saved or not saved, either one. Because from what I read, the tribulation is the refining time for the saints. And you can read about what all goes on in Revelation and stuff about, who the devil tries to make war with, the ones who keep the commandments and have the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach. That's who he goes and tries to make war with, not anybody else. So, but about being prepared on that, if you believe that we got to go through this thing and there's going to be a mark of the beast to be able to buy and sell, then that tells me that we need to be prepared. And we do that. I haven't spoke about this at all, really, because one, I want to keep the place that I have. I don't want to disclose that. Obviously, I probably wouldn't disclose that, but it's for me and my group, me, my family, and my group, and the people that come on, that want to be a part of. They call it a MAG, mutually assistant group is what you would call it out in the world, but really it's just a group of Israelites that understand what's coming, so we're trying to get ready. So, are you being taught that you need to be ready, that you need to be prepared? Yeah, like a prepper, basically. Like, are you able to go out and hunt kill, field dress, and butcher a deer, because that is clean meat. So we go on the biblical dietary on things. Rabbits and hogs don't mean nothing to us. We can't eat those kind of things. You have a place where you can fish and get fish on your land, which is something that I'm getting ready to do right now. I've got a great spot for a pond, and I can stock it with fish, and I can have no problem there. I've got a place where I can hunt and kill deer, dove, turkey, things like that are clean. Duck is questionable. I've seen a lot of teachings on duck. I'm not quite sure if duck is clean, but so I kind of stay away from it since I don't know. But I've seen a lot of teachings on both sides where it could be clean or unclean. I'm just not sure, so I don't fool with them. Before, I loved them. I have no problem eating duck, but I need to solidify whether or not that's a clean animal. We also raise chickens, for the eggs and for the meat. And here a while back, I butchered 7 chickens with another family right up the street from me. They're kind of preppers. We don't share the same belief system biblically, but that they're non-judgmental and I'm non-judgmental. We just both know that we need to be prepared, and they prepare and I prepare. So we, between us, we butchered about 7 chickens, and I think 3 of those chickens are in my freezer right now, ready to go. It was a cool experience. But can you do these things? Like, can you live a homestead type of lifestyle? Because I believe that's the direction it's going to go when all these things start hitting. Like, we know mandates are coming. We know that they're going to force things on us. That they say we're not forcing you because we're giving you an option, to do this or keep your job, or do this or, be able to buy and sell. So they leave it out there like that. Well, we're not forcing you to do anything, but really they are. Because if you have to do something that's against your belief to keep your job, to keep your income, then yes, they are forcing you. Because if you're not prepared with a little homestead or something going on where you can have a garden and, like I said, deer hunt, fish, do things of that nature, you're not leaving yourself with a lot of options. So this is just a little short video. Like I said, I am at work right now, and I like to try to do a little something when I get time, because I've quoted before in the New Testament where, I like to give y'all what's y'all's, but I got to give Caesar what's Caesar's. I mean, that's just how we have to live in this beast system. But the question is, and to try to stay on point, are you prepared? Because the pre-trib rapture theory is not a solid theory. When you read throughout the Bible, nobody ever got raptured up. Noah didn't get raptured up. The Most High told him to build an ark. The Israelites didn't get raptured up. They had to go 40 years in the wilderness before they got to the promised land. Nobody ever really got raptured up during the times of trouble. They had to go through the times of trouble, and that's what the tribulation is going to be, the times of trouble. But it's going to refine the believers, and it's going to weed out the wheat and the tares. But if you're being taught that you don't have to worry about these things, you really need to go read your Bible. You better make sure you got that solid in your mind. If you do believe that, I'm not gonna judge you on that, because I used to believe that before I came into what I call the truth, or what is the truth. So it's just a question. It's actually to edify, build up, and try to help people. Are you getting prepared? And preppers aren't crazy people like what you think they are. I'm not some nut running out here, but I'm stocking up on things. There's great things out there. We've stocked up on non-perishable foods, rice and beans, and also too, they're not military rations, but people are starting to make things like military rations that'll last a long time, and you can stock up on it, stock it to the rafters, because the Bible talks about famine. It talks about all these things coming. What would really be the point of telling telling you this stuff if you weren't going to go through it? And two, what greater deception could the Hasatan have than to make you believe that you're going to get out of here early and not have to go through the tribulation and be prepared, and then you're left out there not prepared when you don't get raptured out of here. And if you don't get raptured out of here, then what's your options? You didn't prepare. You're just out there. Your only option, unless you want to watch your family starve, is going to be to take the mark of the beast, more than likely. So it's just something to think about. Something very serious to think about. Because, like Nathan said, and it was on a different topic, it was about belief and obedience, but this is about the rapture. And I told another guy this one time, because he's a staunch preacher of rapture. I don't have to worry about that stuff. I said, well, think about it this way, man. If you're right and I'm wrong, I don't have anything to worry about, because if you're right and I'm wrong, then I'm going to be raptured up out of here with you because I believe on the Messiah. But if you're wrong and I'm right, you're going to have a problem, because if you're not raptured out of here, then you're going to have to deal with the tribulation, and you didn't prepare. I've said in another video before, the Bible's a prepper book. It is a prepper book. It talks about being prepared. You got the 10 virgins, you got all these other things in the Bible, you got all these things that the Messiah said about being prepared. So this is a little different video from what we put out before on Point to Shoot For, but we're going to start getting into more of these things, because people need to know this. What's wrong with being prepared? Hey, if you're prepared and you get raptured up out of here, then what's the problem? But if you're not prepared and you don't get raptured out of here, and it's going to be an issue. We all know there's going to come a time for believers that we're not going to be able to buy and sell in the system. That's just all there is to it. I mean, that's an undisputed truth in the Bible, that the tribulation is going to happen. I would rather prepare to be in the tribulation from what I've read and get through it and make it, because the Bible states that those who endure to the end shall be saved. Meaning you have to endure something. You're going to have to endure a lot of things. And the tribulation is one of those things that I strongly believe and strongly encourage people to study out. The tribulation and these rapture theories, because there's like 3 different rapture theories. There's pre, mid, and post. I don't know how you come up with all that stuff, but I just recommend that people read and study and try to figure out it. But I would strongly urge people to be prepared. I'm kind of putting myself out here by disclosing these things, but yes, I've bought land, 23 acres, way out in the middle of nowhere. Not going to tell you where it is, but it's out there. It's a good 25, 30 minutes either way to get to a store to buy groceries. And we did that for a reason, because we wanted a rural area. Now, I've got some good neighbors around me who also have land, and I've met them, and they are like-minded, at least in the realm of living out there in the rural, away from everybody, because everything that's going to go down is going to go down in the population centers, which is the cities. That's where it's going to start. So if you don't have something set up, I don't live in the city. I still live in the country, but I don't feel like it's far enough out, so we bought land somewhere else that is far out. And right now we're working to get that land ready for our group. The believers that are in our group that believe, that are like-minded like we are, that we know that we can trust, and the reason we know that we can trust them is because they keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. If you're dealing with people that keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments, then you don't have to worry about those people, because they know where the line is. They know what to do and what not to do, and they know what happens when they don't do what they're supposed to do. So hopefully this is encouraging. Hopefully it's edifying. I hope it builds some people up, and I hope it gets you kind of thinking a little bit about this pre-trib rapture thing. 1, study that out, and 2, regardless, you still need to be prepared, because even before the rapture and the birth pains, things are going to get rough. It's going to get rough. So it'd be better to have food stored. It'd be better to know how to hunt and fish and live off the land. Another thing that we're going to do out on our land is we're going to raise goats because we can eat goats. It's a clean animal. We're going to raise sheep because we can eat sheep. They're clean animals. The swine, the wild boar, and all these things, it has its place. All things are profitable, but not, all things are good, but not all things are profitable. A swine is great for cleaning up the land and cleaning up dead things, but it's not food. But here I am with my boss calling me right in the middle of the video, so I guess I better get off of here. So, y'all bless everybody. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared. We love you all out there. See ya. Shalom.